Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week's real estate term is net operating income, also known as NOI. NOI is the driving number behind the evaluation of commercial real estate, and it will tell you how profitable the property is before leveraging debt. I'm going to show you where that number comes from, how it's used, and the significance it has over your investments. But before I do, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get it. So what is NOI? Well, simply put, NOI is your revenue minus your operating expenses. So then what is your revenue? Well, in rental real estate, you're going to calculate something called EGI, or effective gross income. To calculate your EGI, you're going to take your rent roll plus other income, and then you're going to subtract your vacancy. For me, I put my vacancy at 8%. That's equal to 1 month's rent. You can put your vacancy at whatever you feel comfortable with. And as far as other expenses, some examples of that could be laundry or late fees. Now that we know what our revenue is, we need to figure out what our operating expenses are. Operating expenses can include things like mortgage, insurance, interest, utilities, repairs and maintenance, capital expenditures, and property management. Now that we know what our revenue is and our operating expenses, let's see an example of how you can calculate your NOI. Okay, so remember that NOI equals revenue minus operating expenses. So our revenue is going to be our rent roll, which is going to be $100,000, plus our other income, which is going to be late fees. That is going to be $1,000, and then minus vacancy, which is going to be 8% or $8,000. So 100,000 plus 1,000 equals 101,000 minus 8,000 equals $93,000, and that is our EGI, or effective gross income. Let's say our operating expenses are $50,000. So we're going to take our EGI, subtract our operating expenses, and that's going to give us our NOI of $43,000. So that is how you calculate your NOI. You're probably saying right now, that's great and all, but what does that number mean to my investments? Well, now that you have your NOI, you can use that number to calculate many other metrics. You can calculate your cap rate, which is your NOI divided by your purchase price. You can calculate your debt service coverage ratio, which is your NOI divided by your debt service. And you can calculate your net cash flow, which is your NOI minus your debt service. And all these metrics can help you decide whether the investment is a good deal or not. I hope you now have a good idea of what NOI is, how to calculate it, and how you can use it to evaluate your next property or even your first property. So if you learned something today, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'm going to end the video there. Bye.